Should we change our lives if they're difficult? That's the question that I want to talk about, because I had a very difficult time where I had been living. And that's just life, right? We run into challenging times. And part of me thinks we need to deal with our challenges and we need to figure out how to not let them affect us. And part of me feels like I should just make a change if I don't like what I'm doing or where I'm living. And that's the question that I had faced at the time of the passing of a family member. And I just didn't want to be there anymore. I wanted to move. I wanted to quit my job. So, is that the easy way out is the question. Does that even work is another question. And the shorter answer for me is that, yeah, it does work. It works about 20% of the way. Now let me explain that. Wherever I was, where I used to live, wherever I was, there were memories of that person. And that made my grieving process very difficult. And so I decided to move. I decided to leave my job, which I left my job for lots of reasons, but that was towards the top of the list. And I did have the opportunity for a new job in a new area that suited me. And so I think that combination doesn't make me feel bad at all about what I did. I think it was actually helpful. You know, we're always taught we've got to work on ourselves internally, that the problem is not on the outside, the problem is on the inside. But you know what? Sometimes problems are on the outside. Walking down the street and having a memory of a family member that died, that's not here now. All of the difficulties I had with my job, things that I didn't like about the job, they're different now. They're better, they're not perfect, but they're different. So I personally think that discounting, changing your external environment, your external circumstances, is not always the wrong thing to do. And I think a lot of it depends on, if you have the opportunity to do so or not, and how important that is to you. For me, it was very important. I was unhappy living in the area where I had all those memories. And I was very unhappy with my job, and I found a better job. And I was able to move to an area that I enjoyed. So I think on the one hand, it's not wrong if something in your life is not working for you and you're able to make a change. I don't see why you shouldn't. I mean, we're not martyrs here. Are we trying to pick up the most difficult possible life possible so that we can try to cleanse ourselves of any sort of preference whatsoever in our lives? I don't think that's the case. Now, on the other hand, did changing my job, did moving to a new area fix my life? Absolutely not. And that was easy to see very, very quickly. I still have memories of that person who passed. I'm still grieving. I would say the volume of those recognitions, those memories, are probably less, but they're still there, and I'm still working my way through that grieving process. Is my job here perfect? I mean, we all know the answer to that. Obviously not. And you do see, it's interesting that I do see a lot of things that bothered me in my last job, in my last location, are still bothering me here. And so there is certainly truth to the notion that we cannot run away from our problems. How we meet life, the opinions we have, the judgments we have, the beliefs we have, how we think things should or should not be, they will follow us. They followed me. And I'm here now, and the inner work continues. So I think it's a little paradoxical, the answer. It's a little yes and no. Can changing your life help you inwardly? Changing your external life help you inwardly? It has helped me. I think so. I mean, I think it definitely can. And if you're in a circumstance where you think that a change in your life would help you be happier, and you're able to make the change, make the change. But, be prepared. I was prepared. I knew things wouldn't be all better if I picked up and moved. I mean, I was wise enough to understand that everything going on internally, a lot of that would still be going on. And so, as long as you're not surprised with that outcome, there are certainly external circumstances that can be improved for all of us. And so, like I said, I'm not at all regretful about the decision that I made. There's always pros and cons to making decisions to move on to new places, to new circumstances. But I don't think that that's quitting. I don't think that that's saying that you don't see the value on the internal work that you're doing, particularly on the spiritual path. Wherever you go, your mind will follow you, your thoughts will follow you, all of your imagination, your memories will follow with you, and you'll have to contend with them. So I've moved cities, and I've started a new job, and that took a lot of attention. And now I'm settled in and ready to continue with my inner work of passive self-awareness. And I hope this helps somebody.